starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. More than 100 workers in Pickens County will be losing their jobs at the end of the week, and area residents are losing a health care resource. The Pickens County Medical Center is shutting down this Friday. In a release this morning, the medical center says its financial condition has become, quote, unsustainable. WCBI's Bobby Martinez visited the hospital today. He has more on what this means to employees and the health of the community. He joins us in the studio with that story.
It was an emotional Monday for dozens of workers at Pickens County Medical Center. They learned the news of the closing just this morning, leaving many of them with uncertain futures.
This is the first time that I have ever actually heard the words that we are closing.
Shocked and heartbroken. That's how many workers at the Pickens County Medical Center are feeling. Today, they were told the hospital will be shutting its doors by the end of the week. In a release sent out by the hospital, they say, for our staff members, we will be working with other employers to facilitate access to potential employment opportunities. Mary Walker has worked at Pickens County Medical for 40 years. She says when she left home Friday for the weekend, no one was aware the hospital was closing.
The employees were not kept informed, so we knew nothing. So it just breaks my heart for this place to close.
Walker says a few months ago, another facility made an offer that would have kept Pickens County open. Walker says the hospital decided to go in another direction.
They felt like it wasn't a good opportunity to do that we could make it on our own. And I think that was a grave mistake. I think that was a grave mistake because they were willing to put doctors in here, they were willing to put surgeons in here, the things that we needed to keep our hospital open, and they did not go with it. And they did not consult the employees to see what they wanted. So, yes, I'm upset with them.
Tanya Bryant says the closing affects more than just employees. It's going to be a blow to the community.
It's really going to hurt. It's going to have a big impact on the community, great impact. And that's one of my greatest fears is that, you know, people that we could possibly save might not make it.
A lot of people have bad things to say about this hospital, but since I've been working here this short period of time, I just seen a lot of lives got saved.
Emotions were also high for Carrollton Mayor Mickey Walker.
Sadness. Sadness.
And it seems like it's so dear to your heart, like it really
Well, it does. If that don't affect your heart, you ain't got a heartbeat. Cause all the people up here will know the people that work there, and our heart goes out to them.
Walker says the county's economic health will also be taking a hit.
We're losing approximately 130 jobs, and we just wish somebody would have, from the state, from Washington or somebody would have stepped up to help get this thing resolved. It's just going to be devastating. Got so many family members. I got a daughter that works there.
WCBI also reached out to some of the hospital board members, but they were not available for an interview. And if you'd like to see the full press release, head to our website, WCBI.com.
Otherwise, on this Monday evening, it is very spring-like out there. We've got temperatures in the mid and upper 60s, a southerly breeze, mostly cloudy conditions. And if you are concerned about the radar situation, well, at this point, we don't really have any rain reaching the ground. A little bit of moisture up in the clouds there out to the southwest of Winona, but right now we're doing okay. As we go throughout the evening hours, we do expect to see fairly benign conditions for the next couple of hours, probably through 10 or 11, if not a little bit longer than that. So get out there, make the most of your Monday night. Temperatures stay mild. We're in the 60s here. But in general, we are looking at forecast lows down to around 60. After 11 o'clock into the wee hours of the night, there will be a chance for some strong storms and some heavy rain, at least some thunder and lightning out there. So just be aware of that later on tonight. And for your day tomorrow, your Tuesday, another mild day for us. The best chance of rain during the morning hours. So we'll have a chance of rain later tonight into tomorrow morning. And then mostly cloudy, and we're still up to around 70. Still cool, still unsettled for the middle of the week, but we'll talk about that sunshine that will return for the weekend in your 70 forecast coming up.
A shooting in Winona leaves 2 people injured, one of them in critical condition tonight. This happened around 2:30 Sunday afternoon at the intersection of Church and Powell Streets. Our Stephanie Poole joins us in the studio with more on exactly what happened. Stephanie.
Andrea, at this time, Winona police aren't releasing any information on the victims, but investigators are hoping to get the puzzle pieced together soon. The department is relieved that no one was killed in this accident. You usually don't expect your home to be involved in a crime scene, but for Bradley Blaylock's wife, that was her reality Sunday afternoon.
Well, she said she had heard the gunshots and then ran outside. She was cleaning up on the porch and walked inside. She ran back outside, saw some kids playing over there. She told them to get down on the ground.
That's when the unexpected happened.
And the truck come over the hill, hit this concrete barrier right here and slid through the driveway and took out the air conditioning.
Dan Harrod is the chief investigator for the Winona Police Department. He says the person that ran into the side of Blaylock's home was a victim.
When they got there, they noticed a maroon SUV that had crashed into a house just north of Powell Street, and the driver of that vehicle was suffering from a gunshot wound. He was transported by ambulance to Tyler Homes here in Winona and was later flown to UMC in Jackson by helicopter. There was also a second individual at the scene that was suffering from a gunshot wound that was transported to Tyler Homes, and he was later transported to UMC in Jackson by ambulance.
Harrod says now it's time to try and piece the puzzle together.
Everybody, I guess, wants to kind of play a part in it, and you know, you get a lot of stories running together, and it creates a lot of false, you know, statements, and that's what we want to avoid, and that's why we, you know, as far as right now, that's why we're not going to release anything else, is because we want to gather all the true facts and you know, be able to put it together.
Until then, the department is asking the public to come forward with any information.
We just kind of backtrack from that point back to where the scene is, and you know, gather evidence along the way, such as shell casings.
As for Blaylock, he's still shook up over what happened, but he says he isn't concerned about the safety on his block.
I mean, that's why we moved into this neighborhood. This is a good neighborhood over here, and it's typically not something you'd expect from over here. We're pretty strong folks, so we're fine as far as that goes. I just, you know, you can't control the weather and you can't control what other people do.
Harrod says multiple charges will be filed in this case. If you have any information, please contact the Winona Police Department.
A New Hope High School student is facing charges tonight after Lowndes County Sheriff's deputies say a gun was found in his vehicle. School officials called the sheriff's office just after noon today to the high school after getting a report of a weapon being on school property. Well, during a search of the student's vehicles, investigators did in fact find a handgun. The sheriff's department says the student is being charged with possession of a weapon on school property. They say there was no threat associated with the incident. An inmate who died last week is identified as a 70-year-old man serving a conviction out of Lowndes County. Paul Joseph Capps died Thursday at the hospital at Mississippi State Penitentiary. Capps had been in prison since May of 2008 for a statutory rape conviction. The Mississippi Department of Corrections says foul play is not suspected in Capps' death. An autopsy will determine his official cause of death. Capps is the 22nd prisoner to die in the Mississippi prison system since the start of 2020. And a female inmate serving a murder conviction out of Pontotoc died this morning. 69-year-old Patricia Wilhite died at Baptist Medical Center in Jackson. An autopsy will be performed to determine the cause of her death. Wilhite was serving life without parole for a 1995 murder in Pontotoc County. Her first trial ended in a mistrial. A second trial was held in Monroe County. She was found guilty and sentenced in April of 1998. Wilhite had been an inmate at the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility in Rankin County since 1998. A man is charged with armed robbery and kidnapping after a holdup at the Eupora Wellness Center. Police allege Dontarius Davis used a screwdriver to demand money from the clerk Friday. Investigators say he then demanded that clerk take him to a nearby Regions Bank where he forced the clerk to withdraw money. Davis was on probation with MDOC before his arrest. A runaway Belmont teenager was found over the weekend in Iowa. 15-year-old Monica O'Brien was reported missing on February 25th. Court documents say the teenager and 21-year-old Jared Wright were found yesterday in his car in a high school parking lot in Iowa. The Oklahoma man is now charged with harboring a runaway. Law enforcement from Tishomingo County contacted Iowa police to say the girl was thought to be in that state. Police say O'Brien was unharmed. An attorney will now be viewing cases from the judge's bench. Governor Tate Reeves is appointing Michael P. Chip Mills Jr. to fill a vacancy in the 5th Circuit Court District. Mills will be replacing Judge James L. Roberts, who retired on February 29th. The Fulton native has served as an assistant district attorney and as the Itawamba County prosecutor before opening his own practice. The 1st Circuit covers Alcorn, Itawamba, Lee, Monroe, Pontotoc, Prentiss, and Tishomingo counties. Coming up, an area campus gets a welcome facelift. We take you on a tour when we come back. Itawamba Community College opens its new academic and student center on its Tupelo campus. It is called the new front door for the ICC Tupelo campus. The academic and student center is a $15 million project that includes classrooms, financial aid, admissions, and business offices. There are also computer labs, a cafeteria, bookstore, conference room, and some other amenities. The new facility replaces a building that dated back to the 1960s.
Several of the classrooms were not actually large enough to house all the students that we had, and then we have some additional computer labs that we didn't have before, downstairs and upstairs, and we just got a fresh new look for ICC, and it's centrally located between the Belden and Fulton and Tupelo campus, so it's just a great asset for ICC.
The 50,000 square foot building will also feature a Starbucks inside the bookstore. District 16 State Representative Ricky Thompson wants to make sure programs at ICC and other campuses get the money they need to operate. At today's ceremony, Thompson called adequate funding at community colleges an investment for the entire state. The first-term lawmaker also believes more money will be available for workforce development. Thompson said there aren't enough teachers for the courses across the state.
One of the big things that we're looking at is the workforce development side of it. It's where we're trying to get more teachers in the classroom for the skills that very much needed, because we know that's going to be some students that do not want to go to college, and we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to fulfill their dreams. And that's one thing that we're working on in Jackson, to take some restrictions off some of those things for us required when it comes to the classroom, teaching different skills.
Representative Thompson says lawmakers should know later this week which bills will make it out of committee for consideration in the House. All right, Keith, as has become normal, we're just living for the weekend, right?
At this point, we are.
We are. That's
nice
where the
weekends.
nice weather is.
Then the rain comes back on Mondays, 4 Mondays in a row, Andrea, with rain. We may do it again next Monday, but we will have a nice weekend coming. We'll talk about that in the 7-day. Big time storms, look at that, erupting in Missouri. Those are hail producers. We still have a chance for some storms here tonight. We'll talk about it next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
So nice to see you on this Monday evening. We do have some fast-moving clouds out there. This is our time lapse from Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. Even a few what look to be some gravity wave clouds that are passing on through today in Vernon and West Alabama. A live view right now at Durham's Pharmacy. We have overcast conditions, temperatures in the 60s at 65 degrees. What's happening in Alabama tomorrow? Well, you may have heard it's Election Day, not in Mississippi, but in Alabama and up in Tennessee, too, Super Tuesday. Overall, it's looking decent. There will be some morning rain around, but I think most of the day here in Vernon and Sullivan, Reform, we should be doing okay for the voting. Now, tonight, there's still a slim chance for some strong storms. The overall severe weather threat is in the low end of the spectrum here, but there could be a few clusters of storms with some gusty wind and or hail, the main threats here, in addition to some heavier downpours. So we are, for the most part, in this Category 1 level risk here through the night. The higher odds of severe weather to our north. We'll show you that in just a split second. This green right here in the Kosciuszko, that's rain staying aloft in the clouds. We have no rain falling from the clouds in our area right now. But look at these big-time boomers up here in Missouri and in Kentucky. These are producing lightning, large hail, and there's actually a tornado watch up here until 1 o'clock in the morning. That is north of Memphis, north of Jackson, Tennessee. But farther south, we don't have anything perking just yet, but there's another disturbance down here in Texas that will be screaming across North Mississippi later on tonight, some fast-moving winds. So we still could see some strong, or at least some storms develop, and maybe a strong storm or two. But for this evening, notice how we are just basically cloudy here through 10 or 11 o'clock. Dry right now. Enjoy your Monday evening. No major concerns right now. But after 11 o'clock or so, we'll have a chance for some of these showers and storms, and they look to be moving around in various clusters here. So not everyone's guaranteed a shower storm tonight, but if you get one, it could be locally heavy. Perhaps the heaviest rain between 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. And then all of that heavy stuff goes away by the time you get ready for the morning commute. We're still in the 60s in many spots here. There could be some lingering showers. That's our best chance of rain tomorrow morning. In the area, that will be around the morning commute time. Mostly cloudy up to around 70 in the southeast tomorrow. Only in the 60s, mostly cloudy in the northwest. But I think most of the rain will be tonight into tomorrow morning. Notice how most of that goes away. Frontal boundary moves through, it stalls out along the coast, and then there will be some more rain that redevelops tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Thursday, as that area of low pressure moves on through here. So we still have some rain potential here, anywhere from a ½ inch to maybe up to 2 to maybe 3 inches in the far south, but for us generally about a ½ inch to maybe 2, 2.5. That's what we're thinking right now between now and Thursday. So not as wet, but still wet. And then we'll clear that system out of here just in time for the weekend. Upper 50s, low 60s Friday and Saturday. Mid 60s, so mostly sunny on Sunday.
And it's nice to know that we're dealing with severe weather.
Not necessarily tonight. We'll watch it, of course, but this is not that big event that we can get this time of year.
Sure.
And that severe threat we were talking about last week,
absolutely,
that really has waned, and that's a nice little positive change here.
Good news indeed. All right, the high school basketball semifinals beginning in Jackson, and we've got you covered. Highlights from all those early games are coming up next in sports.
Dealers, go further.
The high school basketball Final Four tipping off in Jackson today. One more win and you're locked into a state championship appearance, starting with a big one to begin Monday. The 3-time defending state champs Pine Grove taking on the undefeated West Lowndes Lady Panthers. First possession, Kenzie Miller to Lauren Elliott, post move and 1 bucket. Pine Grove with the early lead. A couple plays later, West Lowndes cutting into that lead. Marvacia Seals to Ashanti Williams and 1 bucket for the Lady Panthers of West Lowndes. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Great ball movement ends with Bella jumper, left-hand layup right before the horn. Pine Grove ends West Lowndes' undefeated season. They advance to their 4th straight state championship, 55-26. Baldwin looking to advance to take on Pine Grove in the 1A finals, taking on Sacred Heart. First quarter, Amari Anderson spot up triple. Sacred Heart still on top in the first. Next possession, Bearcats on the fast break. Iana Reagan to Anderson. Hard take and finish. Baldwin makes it a 2-point ball game. Then right before the end of the quarter, this time Anderson to Reagan. 3-ball before the buzzer. Nylon. Lady Bearcats take care of business the rest of the way. 48-27. Advance to face Pine Grove in the 1A title. On the boys' side, Ken Baldwin joined the ladies in Oxford on Thursday, taking on West Tallahatchie. First possession, Gabe Richardson to Andy Trollinger. Top of the key triple is good. Baldwin with the early lead. A couple plays later, it's a little bit fancy. Give and go alley. Richardson to Riley Horde. Baldwin. 5-0 run to start the ball game. 1 minute left in the first. Richardson outlet to Jacoby Williams. He had 15 points at halftime. Baldwin with the lead here in the 4th quarter. Bearcat fast break. Look out below. It's Air Horde. 2-hand jam. Crowd, they love the dunks. More dunks, they say. Baldwin advances to the state championship, hanging on to a win of 61-55. So who will face Baldwin in the state title game? Ingomar or Shaw? Falcons trying to get back into a title game. First quarter, Shaw comes out blazing. Jamarian Walker 3-ball. 7-0 run to start the game for the Hawks. Halfway through the first, Hunter Bynum forces the steal. Clear the runway. It's Naheem Jones 2-hand jam. Ingomar would trail by 10 in this ball game, but rally in the second half. We're here in the 4th quarter. Zach Shugar's hard drive. Time stands still at the ball. Gets in for the bucket and 1. Ingomar with a 6-point lead now. 3 minutes remaining. Shugar is pushing the break. Clayton Stanford layup. 6-point lead. Ingomar completes the comeback. They're headed to the championship game with a 64-56 win. This game ending just at the top of the hour. Ripley taking on Raymond. Those two will actually face off in boys later tonight. Second quarter, Summer Kirkman bounced past the Sierra Jackson and 1. A lot of and 1 buckets down in Jackson. 30 seconds left in the first. Amelia Hatch, lob to Jackson, bucket. 9-point Ripley lead, and the Lady Tigers advance to the championship game. They get the win 49-33. The Gillum Trophy and the Howell Trophy, the finalists being named today by the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. Let's take a look at the finalists for the Gillum Trophy. Rakia Jackson, Jessica Carter, and former East Webster Wolverine Quantisha Patterson for the Gillum Trophy. And on the Howell side, Reggie Perry, Brian Tyree, and Jadarius Woods, who becomes the first Tougaloo Bulldog to be named a Howell Trophy finalist.
I know some Tougaloo grads out there. They're going, yay, yay.
Thumbs
That's
up all
awesome.
around.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be right back with a last look at the forecast.
All right, right now our radar check shows no rain actually reaching the ground. Well, I guess there is a shower there northeast of Macon, but not a lot of rain out there right now. Still the chance for some rain and storms later on this evening, probably a lot of this after midnight. And then the best chance of rain tomorrow will be during the morning. There's your favorite cloud, Andrea,
There
Wednesday.
it is.
Areas of rain, the big black cloud.
The ominous cloud.
But the weekend still looks good.
All right, sounds great. More basketball highlights coming up
At 10.
All right, that is the news at 6. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening.